Thank you very much. Good evening, UNC. Well, we always knew our MP Indar Singh was a good batsman. So tonight I said talk a little longer because I was getting some more information, which I'll share with you in a short while, with respect to our case with the postponement of local government. So can I say good evening, everyone, UNC family? Thank you very much. Let us thank our chairpersons here, Councillor Rafi Mohammed and Councillor Calvin Sicharan, coming from different parts of Trinidad, Calvin from the Grandi Corporation and Rafi from Princestown. So please welcome and thank them very much. And to all the heated, powerful speakers tonight, MP Vandana, Senator Sean Sobers. I saw Sean Sobers took over the news over the weekend. Thank you so much. MP Peppermouth Padarath, and of course MP Indar Singh, and all of you are here tonight. Those hooked on, good evening once again. And I will not be long tonight. You know why? Because I think the powerful lineup before me have done so well. Just sharing some information with you, first of all, to deal with party matters. We call these house matters. So I want to invite you and everyone in the UNC to our National Congress on Sunday, December 4th, Coover South Hall from 2:30 p.m. Will you be there? Yes, we look forward to seeing you. I want to advise you that nominations for the Youth Arm elections will be reopened from Wednesday, 23rd November, and close on 16th December 2022 at 4 p.m. You could get forms here. So the Youth Arm elections, some persons have crossed the age. We had open elections, and since then they've passed the age for the youth. So Youth Arm nominations are open from Wednesday and will close Friday, December 16th at 4 p.m. Get your forms and get involved, young people. Both the Youth Arm and Women's Arm elections will be held on Sunday, 15th January 2023. So if we completed the constituencies, we completed the NATEX, and now we will do these two arms of the party. So I encourage everyone, let's get involved and let's put a full party structure in place. Now I want to talk a little about crime. I know it's worrying everyone, and I received several messages on my WhatsApp. And in those messages, I'm being told that the PNM, operators of the PNM, the government, that they've called in gang leaders. And they're offering contracts to these gang leaders to have a ceasefire because they want to end the crime. But that's not the way to end crime. You don't reward criminals. That is not the way. So I call on government to tell us if it's true. And we will file, yes, Mr. Manning had done it, you're right. We will file freedom of information questions, of course, to find out who they have given these contracts to. Now, I find that very, very disturbing. Dr. Boda, I'm sure, as a law-abiding citizen, and everyone, all our citizens, this is very, very disturbing. That they're offering contracts to, Kenwin, don't go down that road. Kelvin said better he try to become one of these leaders. Don't. You remain a local government leader, okay, in your Grandi Corporation. So I want to share that with you. And then now I'm seeing a kind of perversion of the course of justice in a different way. As you know, we've approached the High Court, and I told you before, this is where you go to resolve disputes, not with the gun and the sword and whatever. You go to the courts where we have differences in law. And having filed that matter by Mr. Anand Ramlogan, the court has set some very strange dates, saying they will hear this matter next year in January. So our lawyers, Anand Ramlogan and others, they have filed today. Today, they have filed another matter in the court against the government about these elections, and seeking an injunction to prevent officers from continuing to act as councillors and aldermen after the 3rd of December, because you know it, councillors are here tonight, you know it. It means your council expires on the 3rd of December. The term ends. And therefore, we filed an injunction. We will take this matter refuse it, up to the Court of Appeal, and guess where? To the Privy Council. So let's thank our lawyers to fast-track this matter, because you can't fix this for January next year, because then we'll become, in law they say, ocious, redundant, waste of time, academic. So you have to go now, before the term expires, and to deal with the calling of these elections. Whichever way it goes, we have to stand up for democracy. Do you agree? We have to stand up for the rule of law. So we've applied for what is known as interim relief under Section 18 of the Judicial Review Act, an order that this application matter be deemed fit for urgent and expedited hearing. An interim injunction restraining all persons presently holding office as councillors and aldermen, having been duly elected by the local government elections held on 2nd December 2019, pending the determination of this matter. So you will not hold your offices, and I'm advising our councillors, you don't have to panic. You will have your chance again, but we must always abide by the rule of law. Further, and/or alternative case management directions ordered by the court on 18th November be varied to ensure that the court delivers its ruling on or before the 3rd December 2022. An order that costs and so on be fixed, and such other orders. So this is a matter filed today. Anand Ramblogan and lawyers together with him, let's thank them very much as we stand and fight for justice and democracy. So I thought I'd share that with you, because I was very disturbed on Friday when I got the news at the hearing. They've fixed the hearing now for when? January. So whatever decision the court makes in January becomes, as I say, ocious, redundant, waste of time. Because it would mean that the elections will not be called as should be called in law, which is on or before 3rd of March 2022. They want to push you now down to 2023. And they want to call that democracy. So we'll fight them in the courts. Victor Roberts will fight them on the streets, inside the parliament, outside the parliament, to have all of us join together. So I share that with you. And I saw an article recently about community policing. So they're talking about fighting crime, but it was under Mr. Pandey that we put this fully into effect. And under my government, we continued. But what have they done? They've killed it. And they want to know why things are going wrong, because they don't just wait after the crime has been committed. Fighting crime has to be a holistic, Tanku, you know it, a holistic fight. So you have to fight it before, during, and after. But the before, we've lost all the preventive methods. And their answer, if I'm correct, and if the information I got is correct, is to do what? Offer the gang leaders contracts. Contracts. And that's, you're correct, the procurement law. We saw the regulator in the parliament recently talking about that. So MP Indar Singh talked about Balije House. I don't need to speak of that. Barry talked about children. Children. And it's a sad time we are facing for children in this country. For the women. Where's the pepper spray, by the way? Every week we ask about this pepper spray. You promised it so many years, but we will fight them on every front. So they have no plan for the economy. World Children's Day, Barry did a good job on sharing with you some of our plans to amend the law so more children will have access to the Children's Life Fund. Yes, you agree with that? Yes, yes. And don't cry crocodile tears, you know. They closed down the gate, the laptop, everything to help children in this country. They have shut down. You know, I called several times ago, several moons ago, for the migrant children to be given access to education. I saw the Express editorial is now saying the same thing. I thank you, Express. I thank you. We have been calling because they're children. And tonight again, I renew that call for migrant children to have the opportunity for education. Do you agree? Yes, we must. We have to agree. So, friends, that's my short comments tonight. We shall meet. Oh. You know who I'll ask to come and speak with me tonight? Mr. Taxi himself. Taxi, come and give us a few minutes.
Good night, brothers and sisters. Good night. Welcome to the United National Congress Monday Night Forum. And I'm very happy to join with my political leader and the future Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I just want to say the PNM is a total failure. Total failure. And the only way for we to go under the leadership of Kamala Prasad Bisesa to be the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Where there is unity, there is strength.
Thank you very much. And I see MP Charles is here. Can we get a few words, please, MP?
I'm proud this evening to stand next to my political leader, next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And I join with all the other speakers in telling Dr. Rowley, depart from your wicked ways, repent and seek redemption. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no redemption for the PNM. We must vote them out and put this beautiful lady as our next leader and Prime Minister. So, good night, everybody. Want to see you at the Congress?
4th.
On the 4th? Come out in your numbers. Let us show the PNM the power that this lady has behind her. And we will rescue Trinidad and Tobago from the evil and despicable situation in which it is. Thank you very much.
I now call on Dr. Bodo.
Yes.
You just had a delivery?
That's correct. So good night, UNC family. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be standing to the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm sure that you all agree we can't wait until 2025. The country has collapsed under this PNM government. And of course, it is a dire situation. This is a situation that requires urgent surgery, leader of the opposition. So my brothers and sisters, we have a strong battle ahead of us. I urge all of us to continue to be strong, to remain focused. And again, I would say that our Congress on the 4th of December is a very important event for us, and to send a signal of the strength and the growing strength of our party under our leader, Kamala Prasad Bisesa. So it's going to be difficult times ahead, but I feel very certain, very sure that the leader who is standing next to me, will take us through these troubled times. And once again, bring Trinidad and Tobago to the country that it should be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I call upon Michelle Benjamin, MP, please.
Good night to my honorable political leader. Good night to my UNC family present here tonight and those locked on all the virtual platform. I join my colleague. It is a pleasure to be standing next to the next Prime Minister. And I don't say that with unbelieving. Trinidad and Tobago know that the way forward, the way out of this hell, because we spoke about political suicide, we spoke about political sin, and the PNM has committed a crime. Right now, they are being very vindictive. They are victimizing us. They are making us feel that we don't belong in a nation that we built. So we have to get rid of them. And the only person that can do that is this honorable lady, this strong fighter that is fighting to reestablish our democracy, that is fighting for us to belong in a nation that we built. She is fighting for the future of our children. She is fighting for the future of the single mothers. When she was there, we had the baby grant. I didn't hear anybody mention that, but I sit in a constituency that I could tell you it is needed today, especially as my colleague, Ms. Mohid, would have spoken about the vulnerable in our society. Let us return the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. I am telling you, she's the way forward. I endorse my honorable political leader. I stand with her in this fight, and I know we will win. Whether I call elections tomorrow, we are ready. Call the elections. Don't run. Don't postpone. Don't hide behind the courts to delay the process for you to get time to pave roads. We don't want paved roads. We don't want hampers. We want a woman that created jobs. So we are standing strong behind her, and I'm honored. Honorable political leader, I stand with you.
Thank you, MP. I now call on Councillor Raquel Ghani, please.
Good evening to my political leader, my UNC family. As my colleague, my sister MP, Michelle Benjamin said, let us stand together. Let us pave the way forward along with our leader, Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, who is an inspiration to all of us to get rid of this PNM government led by Rowley. Thank you.
I now ask Deputy Leader Jillian John to join us, please. Caught you by surprise, but always ready.
Yeah, I was just getting very ready. Our honorable leader, thank you so much. You see, our leader has them on the run. Are they on the run? Until now, they're begging for mercy. They say, mercy, please. Somebody help me. They're begging for mercy. But what they have to do, all those people who died needlessly from COVID, over 4,000, let them go and ask for forgiveness from them. All the children who had no devices, and today we are suffering because of that, and they are suffering. Let them go and ask them for mercy. The 6,000 small businesses that closed down during COVID, go and ask for forgiveness there. You know, Madam Priscilla Ramcharter, who died because the car hit a pothole, she was going out with her family. Go and ask her and her family, the young family she has left behind, go and ask for forgiveness. And tonight, MP Padrat spoke about the last words from the divers. God will help us. They gave up. They said, God will help us. And I want to reiterate, Trinidad and Tobago, God has turned his face from us. It's the only reason we have Rowley here. God gone and leave Rowley. So we have to stand up and stand with the political leader of the United National Congress. Stand with her. Stand in the gap with her, right? Because see, they're abusing the Bible, but we know who God bless, no man curse. And one day, Kamla Prasad-Bissessar will be the Prime Minister of this country again, and only then she may ask for forgiveness. But I cannot forgive the people, Rowley and the People's National Movement. We should never, ever forgive them. I thank you.
MP Ratiram, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Political Leader and the best Prime Minister that we have had in Trinidad and Tobago, Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. My brothers and sisters, good night to each and every one of you. it is truly an honor and a privilege to stand next to the greatest woman that has served this country and has served this country with a distinction, brothers and sisters. During our leader term as Prime Minister, we saw development like we have never seen across the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. We see over 100 schools being constructed. We see hospitals being constructed. We see roads being developed. And we see the agriculture sector being given the respect and the care that it deserves. We see the houses, the household receiving support, as MP Michelle Benjamin indicated, with things like the baby grants. And what we saw, brothers and sisters, is the policy by this honorable leader is a policy that benefited all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago when she removed the VAT on 7,000 food items that benefited all. What we are seeing today, brothers and sisters, a total collapse of this government in every sector of society. They are clueless. They have lost touch with the people and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We see abandonment of the agriculture sector and the fishing sector, brothers and sisters. We see the failure of this government to clean our water courses and our rivers, causing mass flooding across the length and breadth of the country. And just tonight, again, the constituencies of Kufa North is under pressure. So, brothers and sisters, there is a saying that at the end of every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. And I am honored and privileged and proud to stand next to that silver lining of Trinidad and Tobago, who will lead us out of darkness into the light. The Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, our next Prime Minister. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much, MP. Can I call Councillor Chris Hussain? And I want to share a little story, and I'm so proud of Chris. Chris is our councillor in the Princeton Corporation. And he took some of these years to better himself. I am proud to announce that Chris has qualified to be a lawyer, and I'm so proud of him.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a deep honor and privilege to stand next to the strongest woman this country has ever seen, next to the best Prime Minister our country has ever had, next to a lady who has done so much for young people in this country, and I am proud to be one of them. I am standing here today not just as a councillor, not just as a UNC representative, not just as a supporter of the United National Congress next to the political leader, but I am standing next to my mentor, and I am standing next to my inspiration, not just in politics, but also in law. I am so privileged and I am so grateful to have had the opportunity for almost 6 years to serve in local government. It has been 6 of the most difficult, but 6 of the most rewarding years of my young life. And I thank Kamla Persad-Bissessar for that opportunity. Today, this evening, I want to call on you to stand strong with our party. Stand strong and stand together, because together we will remove the People's National Movement and we will take back reins of governance of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you all very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. I want to call our brother Victor Roberts. I was going to share this with you, but let Victor tell you how we can continue this fight against the wicked PNM. Victor, our brother, welcome him, please.
Thank you, Lisa. Blessed good night to all. So what we would do is to continue the fight while the leader and the members of parliament, the senators, continue the fight inside the parliament. It is our job to continue the fight outside of the parliament. And therefore, on the 10th of December, we are going to mobilize over 30,000 individuals in this country to let Keith Rowley and the PNM know that we have had enough of their misbehavior in public office, their misrepresentation of the truth, their interference in relation to our democracy, and therefore we are going to stand to fight the battle together. We are going to fight against the murder rate. We are going to fight against food prices. We are going to fight against the fuel increase. We are going to fight against the unemployment. We are going to fight against the worst government ever. We are going to fight about the worst infrastructure. We are going to fight, ladies and gentlemen, for the interference of our democracy by this dictatorial government under the leadership of Christopher Rowley, and we are going to install the onlyest individual who have demonstrated their love for Trinidad and Tobago, for single mothers, for single fathers, for the school children, and every walks of life. We would ensure that the Honorable Kamla Persad Bissessa returns to the chair of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you, Honorable Leader.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you. I call MP Khadija Amin, please.
Thank you very much, distinguished political leader and the best Prime Minister Trinidad and Tobago ever saw. Tonight, I want to take this opportunity to thank Kamla Persad Bissessa for two things. One is the legal challenge for the PNM extending, well, they didn't extend the term, they postponed the election because they're frightened. I want to thank this political leader for standing up against the PNM and bringing action to defend democracy in Trinidad and Tobago. I also want to thank this political leader who, as Prime Minister, set an example for what should be done in terms of real representation in local government. The PNM cannot touch you with a 10-foot rod. They cannot step in your shoes, and they are afraid to face the polls and call local elections because of the good representation of the United National Congress under your leadership. So I thank you.
Thank you, Khadija. Thank you so much. And we have a very big mouth councillor, Councillor Mohani. Karen spoke last week.
Honorable political leader, senior council, members of parliament, councillors, party stalwarts, ladies and gentlemen on the live stream, good night, assalamu alaikum and sitaram. I am inviting, thank you political leader, I am making a special invitation to those burgesses of Debe East, Esperance. Please come out. All roads will lead to the United National Congress December 4th, where we will stand with our political leader, a great leader for all of TNT. Please rise and give her a standing round of applause tonight and the energy of the great people of the UNC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I call on MP Dave Tanku, please.
Thank you very much, political leader of the United National Congress, my colleagues all. In a few short months, this government would have spent $500 billion. That is $500 billion. What you get for that? You get suffering, pain, flooding, tax, crime, unemployment, and the list could go on and on and on. But there's a reason why I raised that tonight. There's a reason why I raised that tonight. Because that is what the PNM has brought to you. And many of the speakers here tonight spoke about what this lady on my right has brought for you. And that is something that the PNM does not want you to remember. Because when it came time to prove themselves, they failed. You have to compare like with like. We can't compare like with this lady. They ain't like at all. Them ain't like nobody. It's hate, hate and more hate. We have had the experience, and you get the opportunity to compare leader with leader. And when you compare leader with leader, you must agree. The track record says it all. This has been the best Prime Minister, proven fact in the history of this country. So when you have the opportunity, whenever they have the opportunity, because you could only run for so long, time will catch up with them. When you have the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, let us commit to save Trinidad and Tobago, to restore Trinidad and Tobago, to put back Kamla Persad-Bissessar back as Prime Minister and save this country. I thank you all very much. Thank you very much, political leader.
Thank you, MP. Can I call Councillor Derek from the Superior Corporation, please?
Come on, people. Tables are turning, your eyes are opening. Welcome to the revolution.
Good night to my UNC family. Good night to my political leader. So, Trinidad and Tobago, I would approach it all differently. I want to ask you all of you in Trinidad and Tobago, put aside race, put aside Indian and African. Consider the future of your children. Compare 2010 to 2015 to 2015 to now. And you make the choice. It's as simple as that. Make the choice for the future of your children, your grandchildren. The only hope is the United National Congress led by Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Thank you, leader.
Thank you, Derek. Can I call Rishi from the San Fernando City Corporation?
Honorable political leader, UNC family, good night. Tonight, I just want to say a special thank you to my political leader for giving me the opportunity 3 years ago and having the faith in me to bring my seat home. And political leader, I want to promise you tonight that the next corporation we are going to bring home is the San Fernando City Corporation. I call on the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the people of San Fernando to bring back good governance to San Fernando under my political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Thank you.
Councillor Rajbal from the Kuva Tabakit Corporation.
Thank you, honorable political leader, the best political leader and the Prime Minister this country has ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, I see hope. We on this side see hope with a leader like Kamla Persad-Bissessar. We have a leader of compassion and of intelligence against what we have now, one of arrogance and ignorance. So ladies and gentlemen, the call is for us to put back Kamla Persad-Bissessar as Prime Minister and bring back hope to Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
Okay, these good times tonight will end shortly. So I'm looking who I can see to call. So I want to call the PR of our party, Dr. Megu.
Thank you. It is my privilege and honor to be standing next to this great, great woman. You know, we see her so often, we don't realize there will never be a woman like Kamla Persad-Bissessar again. We are so privileged. There will never be a first woman attorney general after this woman. There will never be a first female leader of opposition after this woman. There will never ever be again a first leader of a parliamentary party as a woman, as this woman right here. There will never ever be the first woman prime minister after this woman here. And there will never be a better prime minister than this woman right here. And I want to say, for all those people who want to save Trinidad and Tobago, humble yourselves. Realize you cannot hold a candle to this great historical figure here. We must all come together, humble yourselves under the leadership of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the only person in Trinidad and Tobago who can lead us to victory and save this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we call Councillor Gangaram from the Kuva Tabaki Corporation, please?
Thank you very much, my political leader, MPs who are present here, you councillors, the hard-working UNC family. I want to wish you all very well and thank you very much for coming here. I would like to say thanks to my political leader, a person who always recognizes the hard-working people, the councillors, the MP, all you hard-working people who support her wherever we go. Although we get negative and positive, the positive always overcome the negative. I am sorry for my electoral district, the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the electoral district of Bridgeton Castle, to know the suffering they have been going through at this period under the PNM government. Rowley must go as soon as possible and let things run as it was before under this leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Very soon we will be in power. So I want my supporters to come out on the fort. You know we have a strong support in Kuva South and the electoral district. I want to wish all my councillor colleagues from Kuva Tabaki Talparo, who has been working very hard for this party, and the leader has recognized that. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Okay, Cole, we'll bring the curtain down. I'm calling Alderman Susan Holder from the Grandy Corporation.
Good night. Good night to my political leader. Yeah. To my UNC family and to those looking on. My political leader, it's a privilege for me to stand next to you. It's a privilege for me to stand by you. It's also a privilege for me to stand with you. It is said, for the lack of knowledge, the people shall perish. And I just want to give a little story here. You know, yesterday morning, I traveled from Sandy Grande to Port of Spain. And I saw two persons lying in the Maxi Hub, a man and a woman. But when I watched closely at them, I recognized as people that I know. So I walked to them and asked them, why are you lying there this hour of the morning? They say, we have nowhere to live. I said, how do you mean you have nowhere to live? They say we had a food card. We had they were getting public assistance. And they take the public assistance away from them. They take the food card away from them. But when I watched at them properly, they were dressed in red jerseys with the PNM logo. So I wanted to know how all you in this color jersey with a PNM logo and they take away your food card and your public assistance from you. So we got to be more knowledgeable about the things taking place. You know, Trinidad and Tobago lose everything that it had. Everything. We go on to nothing. And tonight I want to say to you people, don't be ignorant. Don't let party tie you up. For years, the PNM tie all you up. Let us come out of this and let us look for survival now. And the only party that will bring that to you is our leader and the United National Congress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Susan. And I want to call a brilliant economist who works in the opposition office, former Senator Tahaka Obika.
Thank you very much, Honorable Political Leader. UNC family, good evening. Now, I can't come and give a long political speech because we had many contributions tonight, and now is not my time to give that. But all I can say is this. How could we have imagined that in Trinidad and Tobago, after the work at educating over 70% of our citizens at the tertiary level under the leadership of Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, now you have young doctors unemployed? Who would have imagined that in 2015, when they stained their finger, that our country could be producing graduates without jobs? Over 100,000 jobs have been lost. Now, we don't need to tell the population about the ills of the PNM anymore. They know it. It is for the people to make up their minds that they want Trinidad and Tobago to return to the paradise that has been lost when they voted for the PNM in 2015. I thank you very much, Congressman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So good things end as they ended in 2015 under the PNM. And therefore, we have a duty to the future generations. I told you last week, we do not own this planet. It is not our property. We do not own Trinidad and Tobago. But what we do, we hold it in trust for our children and their children and their children after them. So let's honor that. We have been given a great honor and gift to provide for future generations in this country. So whilst we may be a lost generation now, our country is collapsing and folding up in front of our eyes, all is not lost. Always remember, there is always hope. But we can only hold on to that hope if we are prepared to fight, to stand and fight. And will you do that? Will you stand up? Don't sit down home. I told you, what do you call them, Barry? Keyboard warriors. Type in, the UNC must do this, Kamala must do that, Kamala must go, Tanku must go, everybody must go, and they wouldn't say Rowley must go. They will not. Well, some say it, yes. We say it, Rowley must go, Rowley must go. And with him, his entire government. They have brought us to shame and disgrace. They have brought us to our knees. Our children are suffering, the young people, the women, and the men. Today, I said, we're having a fundraising dinner sometime. I said, but no pressure. UNC will do a fundraising dinner, raise some money for some hampers to help some people. Let me congratulate our MP Vandana, who has worked with the Ministry of Social Development to help us get a few food cards. Will not be enough. So we raised some funds. So I'm saying to this person, she said, boss, we don't like to speak of our troubles, but my husband is not working right now. I said, so what is he qualified to do? He has a degree, a university degree. So when Tap talked about that just now, yes, so many persons, you have a full education, you cannot get a job. Before we used to say, well, the education is a passport out of the poverty. Education is a key to a better life. So once you got an education, what did you expect? A good job, a sustainable job with a good salary, not anymore. So what next you must do? What next must you do? You should know that we should vote out Rowley. Rowley must go. That's what we have to do. Band together, work together, and let us remove this wicked, incompetent government. So tonight we had a different kind of Monday Night Virtual. Did you enjoy it? Maybe we can do some more of that. And I'm so happy I didn't have to talk non-stop because I have a little sore throat here. So please excuse me, but I think it went well. I thank all of you who contributed tonight. And let us continue with the fight and the struggle. So if I don't see you before, we have Parliament on Friday. We will be debating a private member's motion filed by MP Saddam Hussein on the horrendous state of crime in the country. So tune in on Friday. Several MPs will contribute. We have tried in every way to raise this as an urgent matter in the Parliament. But for that Parliament, nothing is urgent. I think the whole roof of the Parliament will collapse, and that is not urgent for them. So we had to wait months to get this motion onto the order paper and for the time to expire. So tune in on Friday, private members motion. Saddam will pilot that for us. And thereafter, please remember, Victor is putting up the marching that we plan to do. We want you all to become involved, become engaged, be with your boots on the ground, not with the keyboards only, but we appreciate your comments as well. So God bless you all. Remember always, you have had leaders before me. You will have leaders after me, but guess what? You will never have a leader who loves you as much as I do. I thank you and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Who feel the black?